Hey y'all, welcome back to Movement Link. So I want to spend a few minutes talking about one of the most common mistakes we see on everything. We see it on cleans, on snatches, on kettlebell swings. We see it when we start teaching people how to kip. We see it on box jumps. We see it so often, and we see it on push presses, stuff overhead. We see people just not reach full extension of the hip. And then what we can really tell the people that aren't used to doing it, because if we have them just in warm-ups or whatever we're doing, skill work, if we have them do a simple jump and land, and jump up and land, we see one of two things happen. We either see them jump like this, where they're not using their hips, and that's what we see a lot of, is just a leg push, and they never get back into that arch position that we see in the swing of the kipping pull-up, the muscle-up, the toe-to-bar, in the burpee, in the kettlebell swing, clean snatch, in all of it. We never see that arch position show up. So then what we see so often, we start cueing the squeeze your butt, get all the way open, and we know people aren't doing this consistently, because then what we see, I'm almost scared to demo this, is they jump up and then stay there, and they land in this super awkward, almost looks like it's just gonna just send a shockwave through their spine kind of way. And all that shows us is they just are not used to extending all the way and then snapping back to a good kind of squatty or jump again landing position. So what we should see is, as you jump, we should see full extension. And then, as we come down, we should snap back, and again, arch and snap, we see this all the time, into a position where we can absorb. So, look kind of how slowly I go from an arch position, and then as I come back down, I start snapping here. But now when we start talking about things like the clean and the snatch, really what we're trying to do is get to that arch position, and then immediately we're going to pull on the bar to get ourselves back into that squatty position as we pull under. So we do the exact same thing, but instead it's always on the way down, we snap back. But if we have a weight floating in the air, we can pull on that weight, and then that's going to make the butt back portion of this, get back into the squat portion, happen much faster. So jumping and landing, very simple and basic, but for not everybody is it the easiest thing and the quickest way to test yourself or test one of your athletes or show them the difference of full extension and getting stuck there and not getting to full extension is just to get them to jump and land, because it slows it down. And instead of like the clean and the snatch where it has to happen, boom, next frame we got to go the other direction, it's really hard for the athlete to feel, did they get all the way up or did they hang out in that position too long? It's really easy to feel up, snap, back down to go land and absorb it. We can also see our knees gimbling, or we getting overextended, so we can start seeing all of these issues that are going to show up in the clean and in the snatch and all these other things we talked about. But we get to see them in a much more controlled environment and in a way where it's much easier to make corrections that they can then feel later on in the exercise, where it's much harder to feel when you've got that heavy barbell in your hand. Hope this helps. Jump and land. See how it goes. Talk to y'all soon.